Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away the constitutional right from the American people that it had already recognized.
This court! Illegitimate! This court! Illegitimate!
Abortion is very traumatic.
Goodbye, Roe! Goodbye, Roe!
Women live with that regret for decades.
Justice!
Thank you, ladies, for your fight.
I am outraged. Everyone who cares about women, about girls, about LGBTQ people needs to be in the streets right now.
We are here to celebrate a lot of hard work. It is my hope that the rest of America will follow Oklahoma's lead.
Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now.
First at 5 o'clock, the U.S. Supreme Court votes to overturn Roe v. Wade, ending federal protections for abortions and leaving the decision now up to individual states. Thank you for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Lori Fulbright. We do have team coverage this evening about that decision and what it means in Oklahoma. We start with News on 6 anchor Brian Dorman, who has more on the actual ruling itself. Brian?
Lori, it's certainly the story of the day. The conservative majority siding with the state of Mississippi in a case that challenged the state's laws about when abortion could take place during a pregnancy. Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization asked the High Court to eliminate the constitutional right to abortion, which was granted in the Roe versus Wade decision nearly 50 years ago. For this case, the justices voted 6-3. The decision to overturn Roe v. Wade was a 5-4 decision, with Chief Justice John Roberts saying that he would have upheld Dobbs while not overturning Roe. People flocked to the Supreme Court early this morning, some celebrating the decision, others protesting it.
I was really sad. I cry a lot because it's not good decision. This is the slavery for the women of all country.
I've been working and praying for the past 5 years for this day, and we still have a ton of work to do to get all the states to ban abortion, but this is a huge step.
Lots of people, of course, on both sides of this issue. There are now questions here this evening about the status of other divisive topics that the Supreme Court has ruled on. In a concurrent opinion also released earlier today, Justice Clarence Thomas claims the Supreme Court should reconsider its previous ruling regarding contraception, same-sex relationships, and same-sex marriage. Brian Dorman, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
People in Oklahoma also have mixed reactions about today's Supreme Court decision, ranging from excitement to devastation. News on 6's Kristen Weaver is live at the Tulsa County Courthouse, where a pro-choice event is starting, and she talked with both sides this evening. Kristen?
Well, Lori, people here are getting ready to march against the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The decision means that Kansas is the only nearby state to offer abortion access. At Tulsa's Planned Parenthood and Tulsa Women's Clinic, a few pro-life supporters say the decision is an answer to decades of prayer.
There's always help, and a lot of women come here thinking that they're alone and they don't have anybody. So
Brenda Biskey and her 3 kids were outside Planned Parenthood today with signs. Biskey says even in cases of rape or incest, abortion isn't the right thing to do. Tim Beach was at the Tulsa Women's Clinic and says he's also celebrating.
And we've been praying for this and waiting for this. And I know it's not going to end abortion, but it's a step.
Emily Wales is the president of Planned Parenthood Great Plains that serves Oklahoma and 3 other states. She says this erases 50 years of safe abortion access, and now women are in danger.
People know their lives and their bodies better than the politicians who now control medical care in many other states.
She says this will be hardest for low-income and rural families and means a few already overwhelmed clinics in Kansas are the only places nearby to offer legal abortion services.
This is a dangerous situation. I'm grieving for all the pregnant people that can't access the full spectrum of comprehensive care.
Bishop David Conderlo with the Diocese of Tulsa says this is a momentous day, and now he hopes abortion is banned in every state.
Been almost 50 years coming, and the fact that it has caused such division is an indication that it was an erroneous decision.
Kristen Weaver. And Lori, you might have heard a little bit about that contention happening just a couple of minutes ago. It looks like there was some sort of fight, somebody that was not part of this rally, but of course law enforcement came in pretty quickly, got this all handled, which is really good. And you can look right behind me now, that protest is set to go on for just a little bit longer tonight. There's actually another one scheduled for tonight at 7, so lots happening this evening, and law enforcement is here to keep everybody safe. They are saying that this is going to be a peaceful rally, and they want to keep it that way. Live in Tulsa, Kristen Weaver, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.
Several of Oklahoma's lawmakers on Capitol Hill are reacting to today's Supreme Court ruling. Senator James Lankford says he is overwhelmed with joy for the nation and the lives of unborn children. He says he will continue to help support and protect mothers and children while encouraging fatherhood and family involvement for all children. And Congressman Kevin Hern released a statement saying every child deserves a right to life. He says it is our responsibility to defend this right and make sure mothers and children are given the resources they need. You can read many more statements from local lawmakers on our website, newson6.com. And our team coverage of the Supreme Court's ruling will continue later in this newscast. Ahead at 5:15, reporter Storm Jones will explain how today's ruling will affect Oklahoma's recently passed laws.
And here's a live view out from Fine Airport parking, Tulsa International Airport. I mean, it just looks hot out here. Lots of sunshine, just a tad bit on the hazy side, and that's an accurate assessment. We've made it to 100. We've done a thing today. First 100-degree reading of the year. Last time we were there was September 1st, so not too long ago, but the first time in June since all the way back in 2013, so it's been a while. We're under heat advisories. These run through 8, so take it easy with those outdoor activities this evening. Heat index values having us feeling like we're 105 plus. Tulsa 98 right now. That's at the Mesonet site. The airport's been around 100. Most locations, upper 90s, so it's very, very hot out there. Tack on all that moisture in the air. We feel like we're at 104. Muskogee and Coffeyville feel like 109. Feels like 103 out in Stillwater. How long is this heat going to stay around? Not long. I'll let you know when we get a break here in a few minutes.
The final 2 suspects are now in custody in connection to a deadly shooting that happened at Memorial Day weekend at a festival in Taft. The district attorney's office says Javarius Warrior and Keyshawn Jackson surrendered last night. They are charged with killing a woman and injuring 8 other people during a shootout at the festival. Skylar Buckner and Kendall Alexander are already in custody. They are charged with first-degree murder and 8 counts of shooting with intent to kill. We have more coverage on the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade today, including why Oklahoma's Attorney General says he supports that decision. And Tulsa County deputies are warning folks about the jury duty scam circulating once again. We're going to tell you what to do if you get the call.
Oklahoma's law is very clear now, and so law enforcement is now activated with respect to any efforts to aid, abet, or solicit abortions.
Oklahoma Attorney General John O'Connor says he supports today's Supreme Court decision and now says Oklahoma has the strictest laws in the country when it comes to abortion. O'Connor signed a letter of certification today that makes performing an abortion a felony, punishable by up to a $100,000 fine and 10 years in prison. It also repeals more than 130 state laws that regulated how abortions can be performed in Oklahoma. The Tulsa County Sheriff's Office says scammers are once again pretending to be deputies and telling people they have a warrant out for them because they missed jury duty. The scammers demand money or say you're going to be arrested. A victim who just lost $500 to the scam tells News on 6's Amy Slanchik now she wants to warn others.
Emily Feller says she's embarrassed to be the victim of a scam, but says the issue is bigger than herself and she wants to help others.
It was very, very scary.
Emily says she wound up spending 2 hours on the phone with a scammer yesterday, feeling isolated and pressured to put $500 on a cash card, then read the number over the phone to the scammer. Her money was gone instantly.
He knew I was a mental health professional. He knew my name. He knew my previous address.
The scammer was claiming to be Sergeant Mike Moore, saying she had missed a court hearing and needed to pay up.
You've reached the confidential voicemail of Sergeant Mike Moore with the Tulsa County Sheriff's Department. I apologize, I can't make it to my phone right now.
I'm the real Sergeant Mike Moore who works for the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office.
Sergeant Moore says just like other deputies who are listed on the Sheriff's Office website, his name is the latest to be used to scare people into paying scammers. Moore says he's talked to scammers like this on the phone and admits they are very convincing.
They'll throw out a bunch of legalese, official sounding terms, maybe even quote a state statute.
The amount of information he had was just given to me nonstop, and so it doesn't give you the chance to kind of slow down and assess the situation logically.
The Sheriff's Office says it will never call anyone with warrants and demand cash to avoid being arrested. Emily warns others the call she got was sophisticated and the scam may not be as obvious as you'd think.
Don't beat yourself up.
The Sheriff's Office says if you're ever in doubt about whether you have a warrant, you can easily check that on their website. In Tulsa, Amy Slanchik, Oklahoma Zone, News on 6.
This week has been hot and the humidity has made it even hotter. Aaron Reeves tells us when we can expect a little break across the Osage Casino Skycam network. And next we'll explain what today's Supreme Court ruling means for abortions in the state of Oklahoma. Today's Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade will affect different states differently. That's because the ruling means it's now up to individual states to decide if and when abortions can be performed. News on 6's Storm Jones continues our team coverage now with what the decision means in Oklahoma.
Well, all abortions are now banned here in Oklahoma except to save the life of the mother. Oklahoma lawmakers prepared for this moment, passing a so-called trigger law for if, and now we can say when, Roe v. Wade is overturned. The state now reinstates an Oklahoma law first passed in 1910 that bans abortion with only the exceptions to save the life of a mother. It makes performing an abortion a felony, punishable by up to a $100,000 fine and 10 years in prison. It also repeals more than 130 state laws regulating how abortions could be performed in Oklahoma. Lawmakers say those laws no longer needed because it's now illegal. Governor Kevin Stitt told News 9 last week the state's stance should come as no surprise.
This is a state's issue. And so every state's going to treat it differently, and they're going to determine when life begins. In Oklahoma, I'm proud to be called the most pro-life governor in the country. We believe life begins at conception, and we don't want abortion in Oklahoma.
And those Texas-style civil bans on abortion also remain in effect, meaning if someone were to perform an abortion here in Oklahoma, they could be charged both criminally by the state and sued civilly by individuals. I'm Oklahoma's own Storm Jones.
From the Bob Mills Weather Center, meteorologist Aaron Reeves.
Well, our heat continues, and we actually made real 100 degrees today, not heat index 100, although it's all relative, right? It feels like it either way you cut it. Heat advisories, those run through 8. So once again, just water breaks, light colored clothing. Take it easy this evening. Ridge of high pressure controlling our weather still. This is about to move west just a bit, break down. That's going to allow a cold front to come in and at least give us a brief break from this summertime heat. Here's where we're at right now. All the rain going up and over and around that ridge. Some severe weather with this front up in South Dakota right now. And you can see some of those storms building back down towards Goodland, Kansas. On the edge of this, we've had a few little showers and storms try to bubble up in western Arkansas. Those still kind of ongoing right now. You can see one cell here just east of Fort Smith. They've seen a couple here. They kind of bubble up, collapse, and then another one picks up. Also, stronger storm there southwest of Branson. That one does show indications of some small hail and some gusty winds. Those not moving towards us will likely stay dry across eastern Oklahoma this evening, and those will die down once the sun goes down. With the front tomorrow, the one you saw to the northwest, that's going to start moving our way tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. That'll be getting closer. So at marginal to very low risk for a severe storm or two. Wind and hail the primary threat with that front as that rolls through. Not widespread coverage, but a few people could pick up on that. Sunny skies right now, downtown Tulsa, looking good, not feeling good out there. We're sitting at 100. Feels like 106, our saving grace, that gusty south wind. Without that, it would be super stuffy, and we're only a little stuffy thanks to that wind. Dew points there in the upper 60s. Area-wide, we're kind of in that same boat, 100s. Look at that, 107, that's the real temperature in Buffalo, so that's pretty toasty. 100 in Tulsa and Stillwater, Muskogee right now, 96. 96 also in McAllister, Ardmore. Right now, 100 degrees. Tack on that moisture, then all of us feel like we're over 100. Notice the heat index values out west actually cooler than the air temperature. That's the dry heat out there. You get kind of the reverse effect. Your sweat can effectively evaporate and cool you off. Here we don't have that luxury. Too much moisture. We feel like we're hotter. Feels like 106 in Tulsa and 100 plus pretty much everywhere. We have those south winds for the most part keeping us a little cooler. Not so much on the wind category as you head toward the east. Our lake forecast shows another hot day for Saturday. Lakes look to be a good place to be. Lake levels, all in all, in pretty good shape for us. Most near normal, a few slightly above. So just once again, use that caution out and about tomorrow as you're heading to the lake this weekend. But all in all, our levels looking good. Also, a lot of weekend events. We've got Pride activities going on in Tulsa, Route 66 Road Fest in Tulsa, Patriotic Fest, and more corn that we can get our hands on between the Green Corn Festival in Bixby and the Sweet Corn Festival over in Fort Gibson. Just make sure if we're heading out, sunscreen is key. SPF, everything you can get because you're going to need it. Lots of sunshine this weekend. Tonight, not much of a cool down, only down to 78, 79 in Tulsa. We stay dry tomorrow, back up, kind of similar to where we were today, but we start to get the influence of that front. A few showers and storms to the northwest. We'll see those chances increasing overnight. Notice not widespread, but a few here and there. As we head into Sunday, we'll keep that chance around as the front continues to move through. But look at these temperatures, 80s. That's going to be really, really nice compared to where we've been. But Saturday, once again, heat index values back up to 100 plus. It's going to continue to be hot. 90 by 9, so not much of a quick cool down this evening. 79 to start off tomorrow, and then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, on 100, 101, gusty south wind. Slight storm chance late Saturday into Sunday, then much cooler. That's going to feel so much better. Those cooler temperatures will linger around through the middle of the week before the high builds back in, and we get more hot weather toward the second half of next week.
Thank you, Aaron. Well, tonight at 6 o'clock, how workers were going to replace a bridge in Sapulpa in a single day. And next at 5, how you can experience the history of the Mother Road at the Route 66 Road Fest in Tulsa.
Your Oklahoma Ford dealers and News on 6 want you to have a summer of fun. This is your cue to text for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Pretty Woman, the musical. Plus, every winner gets a chance to win a new 2022 Ford Edge. Text ARTS to 79640.
Tulsa's Pride Festival is this weekend. It starts tonight with the Rainbow Run. There's a fun run that starts at 7 and a 5K at 7:30. Several artists, including Rebecca Black, will perform in a concert at 10 o'clock. And then the festival kicks off tomorrow at noon. There will be a parade in downtown Tulsa tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then a family-friendly picnic at Guthrie Green on Sunday at noon. And of course, that's going to mean some streets will be closed in the downtown Tulsa area. 4th Street outside the Equality Center is closed until noon on Sunday for both the festival and the Rainbow Run. Boston Avenue between 13th Street and 4th Street will be closed tomorrow afternoon for that parade. The first ever AAA Route 66 Road Fest is getting set up for the weekend. The event celebrates the history of the Mother Road, and News on 6's Meredith McCowan takes us to Expo Square in Tulsa for a preview.
You can walk through each decade of life on Route 66. You'll see history from the time period and cars from each era.
Route 66 Road Fest takes you back to the 1900s with immersive booths representing a rich past. AAA Oklahoma spokesperson Leslie Gamble says themed music will be playing and you'll see actors in period costumes. She says in this one, displaying the 1940s, there will be a diner waitress and a serviceman.
AAA wanted to have this way to commemorate the birthplace, really, of Route 66.
Gamble says there will also be a section on the future of mobility, including drones and a driverless shuttle. Along with the exhibits, there will be live music, history presentations, a mini golf course, and more than 200 classic cars. The cars are from the 1920s to 1980s. She says the event is hosted in Oklahoma for a reason.
There are more drivable miles of Route 66 in our state than there are in any other state in the nation.
It's all leading up to the centennial of the Mother Road in 2026. Gamble says she hopes people can put the brakes on daily routines and drive into nostalgia.
Make it really come to life for multiple generations, a real teaching opportunity for younger people and opportunity to reminisce and enjoy old stories of the days gone by.
Road Fest starts tomorrow morning at 9 and goes through Sunday. In Tulsa, Meredith McCown, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.
inside in the air conditioning will be a good place to be.
That's the most fantastic place you could be right now.
Right.
We're going to keep the hot weather rolling at least through tomorrow. Then we may actually get some better outside stuff. Look at Sunday, 86. We do have a chance for a shower storm Saturday night, Sunday with a front moving through. Then we'll keep that somewhat pleasant weather through Monday and Tuesday before you knew it was going to happen. Summer is going to return. These breaks are nice, but they don't typically last long.
All right, thank you. And thank you for joining us at 5 o'clock. We'll see you back here at 6.